World Cup knockout stage. Portugal versus Spain. Laptop
55,000.
55,000. Congrats to Thangmins. Semaru makan. Tak dia he. Kau waktu ni akan berguna ni. 2026 World Cup ha. Single na lai. Single na lai ti do manai ho rom chu. Do man nei he bang asinai nai. Next World Cup target hi zira ta to com ding ti hi target chu. First man hi ho hi la ti ball kita.
Subscribe.
Làm không chết phút nói không chết làm sao chết boy à thì sao là thì lúc tết ra Brazil ya thì là Cuba với get Vardy đấy à mà thôi mà thì nó cái này thì
They got great play.
Ade kanati, sanante.
Portugal đi, coi national anthem mà sao đấy? Hay lúc mô khác biệt nào đấy?
In man party, Nagan kay ate, Anita. Không hòng nó có thể là chạy chạy
Ronaldo fan so, Ronaldo fan so, ha ball win. Ronaldo giống như ăn so tới. Ronaldo đi. Hey, không kêu ăn chụp sao khác không chụp bao.
pha ra
Hợp lý như nào? Khác tình chụp sao nó không chụp sao là cái đất vậy. Lego rồi ta.
It's over a year ago.
một nó lên
Of Spain, national anthem of Spain.
đều là một gì mà thật là ngon thế tiền đâu để nhai cái
Amo hi phát cho mà thay hộ của đó. Sụp lù cho.
đây là chưa Portugal có Argentina final tiếng Hàn lắm mình chưa có được đấy sai được như chưa à chỗ cái chi nó gọi là hiện vô la Hàn mà vô là phát cái này tham tài này quá cậu phụ đầu ra thì phát
Đào
cũng đã xin cho
cầm liều ăn kinh ra
thì được phát
những con đó.
ha và nhà sĩ sẽ có phiền gặp bà cho mà là
Oh yeah, vamos, let's go, Spain.
làm ngon thì xin mà hẳn đấy
So prediction start.
Well, every game is competitive.
Portugal 2
There is
Nah.
one senses an extra edge.
What
between the
Portugal 1
supporters
Spain
and
2
the players.
Okay, Spain 2, Portugal 1.
They know everything
there is to
know about.
Spain thì rồi sai bất tình thì chúng nó có lại prediction of Portugal out Spain in
Favor để cho không phục trận Okay, 1-0.
1-0 na
1-0 hi itre last minute goal lang ana. Kicay goal lang ako. Spain 10 and shoot you at 72 minutes na ako na.
sana ang gawin mo kisito
Bởi mặt chạy như nghe máy hạt có
Here plus 66
thế lên là bàn tay thôi thế lên lên skate clip của thằng từ người làm như nào vậy thì xây commercial break on time. Thế chỉ kiểu cao hồ player mà
The finish to watch the England-Mexico game was very laid back.
happy ni sa tham na so ma
hả? Hấp lên này, đúng rồi, to là như là nó. Cái thì sao?
Just because England have gone through, it doesn't
Mấy anh biết
matter
không?
that the official decision will be made later on. They might not go as deep into the as
tôi là cũng thế
Very, very experienced official. German specialist, Bastian Dankert.
คุณไม่ได้ยังแก้ยาทั้งหมดครับ
The team is for you. Portugal won't change from their Titanic tussle with Croatia. Now Felix replacing Rafael on the left of the attack, ahead of left back Nuno Mendes, who had a great game against Spain in that Nations League final a year ago, scoring as he has done already in this tournament. 2-3-3 for Cristiano Ronaldo.
ก็เป็น
ไม่ใช่ปัจจัย
Nations League, which is a European competition run by UEFA. To win it with special
พาร์ทเดียมาโรนัลโดคริติไซด์
Spain. Correa made into a bit of trouble there.
ก็เพียงละผมครับทีมโดน
Instantly recognisable left back.
ฟิกจะป่วยยังฟิกจะป่วย
Yeah, we've got a fascinating game, Martin, here because it's one of those matchups where
Just to tell you,
Javier
father
มันจะดู
is married to Penelope Cruz, which gives him good status. I think.
certainly does.
Spanish actor of great standing.
ละมัดจังละมัด
Just going to say,
ว่านี่ยามา
difficult game to call this one. Usually when you come to a game,
มันเป็น
you have a bit of a gut feeling what you think might happen. I'm sure for the millions that are tuning in right now and watching it around the world, it'll be the same.
เป็นแต่ passing a ball away
It's going to develop. So many fascinating matchups, so many good areas,
Okay.
strong areas of the field for both teams.
Sometimes knowing so much, as you pointed out quite right, they do about each other.
จ้ะ
คนของเราน่ะ
Portugal dengan botol asal
Some
ni kat
respect early on.
Spain kan je tu yang
คนของเราน่ะ
World Cup player là lông của bạn thắng thắng phần ngon nó đâu là các phần kiloទៀត
Play the medium out.
cái tàu lewang chân na Portugal tu kapan
Right in front
no
of Roberto Martinez.
as ko bang hanta bata boro lawa kecil ke
đây là bộ người ta xong phần
So
số này
setting.
ไอ้ตัวเราคนนี้
acapang hoyong ku ya a helpless he be se ya hokai ma mu da na ta shi o zo which is acapang lang ho oh yama crossing ka na mi se
ใช่
Interesting, Nuno Mendes
เตะ
really
Well,
close
now,
to the
now,
ball is switched.
ก็อันนี้
To the good and the great. But
Spain Puyol na Puyol
to the left.
Yes.
He's the predecessor to Cucurella with the hair.
เป็นลม
It's a great excuse for the old team to band back together.
ah Spain hodak kita
Brings them here.
koyo fei man do me to
Not playing
good good
Why not? Sure.
Yeah. I think
one shot
วันสดน่ะไอ้นี่
minit to me ta kita aduh dia sangat lebih itu
คนก็จะได้ได้
It's all good for Coutinho.
Walk half is us
It's good.
sama tu warna
Tentative in these early moments.
เป็นตัว
Excellent.
ปัจจุบัน
good atau nak
Maybe again, Portuguese
ยังเป็นอะไรกันเป็นอะไรกันคนสุดท้ายคุณน่ะ
Portugal fans ni tak ada ubah jo Spain ke ini lah
just going to say, Martin, one of the most fascinating matchups is in close quarters right now. Lamine Yamal and Nuno Mendes. Nuno Mendes, such an attack-minded fullback.
as
Will charge
tapi dia
forward
ada
every opportunity to go with him because he track him.
Good boy, good boy.
His teammates
เราเร็วสุดเลย
and then find him really quickly.
Ini tuan mana
Diaz. Miguel Cancelo.
soalnya apa
Ruben Diaz is the one player
ผมบอกลำดับ
Memang ni ada
who's
na tuan nomor
running the risk of
Sprite yung na lang to
for the final.
Sprite
Should
to
he get the yellow card in this round of 16.
ano sapak di pa ni
ไม่น่าสนมันจะ
Got with him.
Maybe that's
Yung
the
humiha China sa Pochi to
leave it to the defenders.
Let's get with it here to Pedro Porro.
quite an attacking player himself.
Aspen lawan luka khata jaw. Pero ko. Sa tun hoy ni ta.
With the break, it's really dragging the ball back into the penalty forward.
It's by who English Premier League
It's Bruno Fernandes,
Player of the Year.
star players. It's so much about Cristiano
Bruno
Ronaldo.
Fernandes.
Bruno hasn't really made the headlines. He's finished at Paris this season with Manchester United. Football Review, that's the football writers, the PFA Player of the Year.
Bruno Mendes in outthrown bowling. I'm not subdued there.
Right, it's away.
พิจิโร่ฟรานซ์ทีมโจทอต่อ
Very late winning goal
พิว
in
จุ
the
กนักเตะ
European
สัก
final
คนเดียว
against
ก็
这样只要波这个强，然后别人其他啊，
อ่า
波这个人其他，France 和阿根廷反正人都对你差他来不了，
Horror.
那
Olmo again.
那个上面个hindu 就，阿根廷那边了 hindu 的了，我觉得。
อ่า
So important.
ซูซุนกาลาโฮ
You've been through this to get your touches in early to feel that you're part of
USA
the
ต่อ
game.
Well, definitely. You want to take part in these matches, Mark. You don't want to let it skip.
我是刚这样，
ถ้าสิงห์ท่าเห็นอาร์เจนตินาน่ะ
Sometimes
Nine-
really counts
nine
hard. You try
PM.
and want
啊，这都是。
to get amongst it all. Game seems to operate down the other side of the field or in other areas.
มาตัวยังได้ลูกคนนั้นลูกเข้ามาเลย อ๋อ
Coutinho. To Vega playing it back. He's
Goal
got to
second,
be
top
the player who
นี่
inadvertently
อัม
touched
ฮาลัน
Yeah,
บัป
the
เป้
offside
เมสซี่
call was correct.
the
Croatia,
Croatian.
Croatia
ยามาล
equalising.
ตาข้างหลังคุกหลาย
And here comes Portugal.
โปรตุเกสเนี่ยเต้นเนี่ยทำไมไปยืนที่จุดน้องเต้นไปตาย
Playing the keeper touched it. The officials have gone wrong with that. That's very positive.
Yeah, there's a lot of charge for him. And there's space in front of him.
ช่วงนั้นไปเลย
João Cancelo will eat it up, literally.
อัสลังคารา
So we're going to
ลัง
go
วิ
with
ญญาณ
four more attack-minded fullbacks than what
ตั้ง
we've
รอ
got
ให้
on view
เขา
here.
ละ
See,
ใช่เลยแต่ที่งั้นไหนจะให้
And forward by Kubasi. Out by Vega. That's playing Spain with Villarreal. A lot of clubs for one so young. Proudly boast he speaks 7 different languages.
น้องฮูบีบีซีนะ
Fantastic lifestyle itself, let alone
fundamental. BBC อาชีพอื่น fundamental
ทำได้ต้องใช้ที่จะ
BBC รู้ไหมเขา fundamental แก่เลย
by Rodri. Terry. Here's
เฮ้ย
down.
จุดไหนว้าวนั่นรู้นะนั่นกูแล้วว่าสองกู
ไม่จัง
อาจารย์พิตาฟูรู้เหตุจู่พอยาพิหารบามินจู่พอยา
na zero ni na chen la parte jiu khum lo
got some release to him.
na van so
อันโจขัดโลไว้เลยจะป้าให้ผมเล็บจัง
Look at the goal and hit the target. It's actually well wide of the
ถ้าใส่
target.
จู่สเตเดสไตร์กับสไตร์บอยจะตีจู่
From someone that's been amongst the goals, he's looked very reliable in that sort of situation. That's a big moment.
ถ้าเกิดไอ้โจ้ตรงจู่
Marcy, first ever. Drops for Ronaldo. Let's see what
น่าพอยจะลากจีเต้เลยเมื่อวันดินน่าสร้างความโจ้อยากโซนเอ๊ะเจ้าป้ายเจ้าเฟลิกซ์ใช่
หมายความว่าเปลี่ยนบอกใช่ไหม
might have been back in the team, having been left out for the Croatia game.
เฮ้ยเราตลก
It's
คน
gone
ละ
out.
อะไรกันนะคนละอะไร
Outside of his
โดน
own
เป็น
João
ตัว
Felix.
นี้แล้ว
โรนัลโดต่ออัลนาซา
We see that a lot from him. Sort of stop in front of Pedro Porro. He's
Barca
not
pernah
quite a machine in that area.
ทีมหรือ
João
ว่า
Felix looked very, very talented and has great awareness of a teammate
เออ
running
สลา
into a
มัน
good
ก็
position.
สิบมากสิ
ก็เป็นเด็กเป็นลิเวอร์พูลลงสี
There's
โปรตุเกสแต่โคนาเกียสอาจจะจุดพิจารณาที่คงลงมา
อันนั้นคือที่ที่สิบ
problems to Feeling and pushing.
Tao
it.
nó rồi nó phụ mấy cái người
Yeah,
đó.
cái mang đi cái kiểu là
These days, Ronaldo trying to get through. He's been tucked back actually.
Cái tin tức nó vô đó anh nó lao rồi không chứ nào.
No
one how much you
Hả? Đâu on hơi chỉ.
It was Rodri that was
Yeah,
marking
brother.
Cristiano Ronaldo. Trying to work an
nó mà bạn chuyện đi cho mẹ mua nào hết bằng người mẹ mua cho bạn
Proof ahead to it. Top of all 2035 là còn in tại chỗ.
vâng thế này rồi nè ra là ta nhìn về nó không phải thảo quá
I think any interviews that he's given,
tại cái tại
đấy
làm sao làm sao
cái này đi
what the player has become.
nhìn xin nói chân cổ lên lên
Great fame.
Cái
Luis
xây
Enrique
nó
they were together.
đây
Really got
với lại cái tạo được này
self-confidence into a player who
tạo
now
ra
plays as though he believes he runs the world.
Yeah. He's been outstanding for his club.
Portugal là nói đó.
He's been at the heart of their success
Một
over
cái
the
món
last
này
couple
cái
of
món này
seasons.
đó. Nó học bên
Luis Enrique was the coach of Spain at the last World Cup. Didn't do very well. He's admitted that.
last World Cup ta
Lost to Morocco.
Cái tổ last thing rồi.
Watch this here. This is that what he tries to run. See that? They
À bà
just
nó giàu đi.
clatter in.
Bà là bà
She's
chứ.
out there. Deliberately. Can just try and be elusive. As far as
lại
Rodri
cái
is
điều
concerned,
có việc
I think
là
they've told him a little bit, but as
this
ever,
one football team
got away with it. So a lot of that goes on in
Come
the
on.
game, an awful lot.
Spain. Nó
đấy
And
phía sau hít không
to go keep up with the
Chắc chỉ ta
title.
nói đi một cái ta nói đi ha.
nó
So
rồi
it's
thì cái gì đó
to me when I see on foot that
Ronaldo in two to us. Free kick ta bằng tiền lệ cái ba bàn
just might have made the shot in the end that little bit harder to execute.
Come on man Spain.
First job was done there. Hit the target, make the goalkeeper save it.
Sao nó Spain tỏ hệ giờ
Spain.
À do chỗ nào?
26. And that
Nó
blocking
là chỗ nó khủng nào đâu mà sao?
hey
continue.
cái pha lên làm cái nó con thì này
Cái nó mong là cho pasal cầm này rồi.
Gets to it.
Cái hết là chỗ na cho tỷ lệ.
Smaller of the two nations in terms of population.
khi chúng ta đang dặn hả
Spain
cả tỷ cũng cả tỷ đó
trying to be the player here
rồi
on the football field.
giờ rất đi bao nào rồi
And the other,
And I think
They're
that team
on
needs
here.
to just be honest. They've got so many talented players that know each other. I think they're going to have these little spells, both teams, when they feel like they're getting on top and then very quickly it can change.
it's Pedri
Hỏi chưa? Lung pita ha. Okay, good.
coming inside. And
Spain ta nó knock cái
leading
cán.
into space to Pedro Porro down the right hand side. Gone in the opposite direction to Cucurella.
nhưng có mấy
He's reached up Chelsea for Real Madrid.
nó có một điểm cầu châu
Back home.
hai đều ta sống vào đất lại cho nên
Cú xuống thì ha fans là ta họ hạ đây. Ta Norway ta là cái cái chuyện gì rồi. Fans họ là cái lung tung.
chuyện vào đi từ
Nó anh hình gì cái Portugal Brazil rồi.
France lost
cái
their
đó như của ở nơi kia không lâu bị Vinicius cho phi là nhà là
Ano chỗ nào thì
the Alabama player who's had a good tournament. He stepped up, put himself a starting third.
cũng mà làm brown mà cái số sang vào nè có span có số phần có xây dựng có nói khi nó ngoài đấy mà nó phải đi
Đó.
nè có số nó có số đi số brown mà cái số cái nào
And out by
Cái
Pedro
nào
Porro.
chỗ nào? Chủ sàn.
Cucurella
À.
maybe he thought the goalkeeper was
I think
coming.
he did just for a split second. Think the goalie was going to come and sort that himself. Just quickly to make sure that he tidied it up.
cũng vừa là những cái sao cho forward thì hành lắm cái sẽ là vô cùng lẹ
consistency phải lại được
phải là forward nhỉ thì mình thăng vác nó bỏ cái lại này nang hem very heavy no si blend nang for what it is
บ่ให้ละจนบ่ลังจริงๆตัวน่ะ
cái top scorer na
Starting
for
international
for what
football
nya
at
bu no
this young
top
age.
scorer there's something behind
Injuries.
there's something to say
แต่พี่น้องต้องก็ติ
Pedro Porro. He won previous games. And his 6 Portugal wins.
first one
The World Cup. Spain win. And a 3-3 draw in Sheffield.
เบาเฮ้ยฮะโคตรตายตาเธอปลาซึ่งน่ะพี่ครับ
It's in Sochi.
ลูกชอบกับลูกชอบตะออนแล้ว
Stays in Russia.
ที่ตา2000นิงกุมบ่ยูโรนะจูยูโรกับ
This is often run.
Portugal isตัวเอ้ยaha dia kan ba ha
Yeah, but it just goes
you
over.
you want to spend around
Trajectory is very different.
spend around
ha bora
here
go ahead shit man
still good
Brilliant passes.
nice yaba come on nice my boy my son
It's so close.
no
isn't it?
hold on
That's exactly what I mean, Martin, about when he attacks Nuno Mendes, somebody's got to be there to cover. The Minimal had the first strike, and then that
Shit,
one
but what he
is
gonna do?
saved.
Don't call it that.
Really good stuff.
It's Alex Bayana.
good attack
Cut it back in. Don't you have to
Oi,
work
ha.
on his body.
T number 10 là không năm number full of business K 05
do in stand there corner to the play oh this will
Attacking midfield apa na?
What's out to the Minimal.
oh you wait
He thinks it to Cucurella.
Bila gol
That would have been a cross.
very
Might
much
be on for Spain.
Dia tengok ini.
On with the cross again.
Great defensive header.
Yama. Jangan
Making sure
Knocks that one away. Some teasing crosses delivered there by Lamine Yamal. It's really good stuff. That's a
Yama ni Euro.
really good passage of play.
Portugal legend ho
right there.
Pepe ho
Deco now with Barcelona, of course.
Yes, dia tahu nak.
support to piti ha
Tak asal itu. Betul tu tak.
Running repairs from Nuno Mendes. He must have played against Deco.
Macam hal tu.
Sure, Martin. Sure, it did.
Your
ang
part
boy to si Hawa na nang tata do
Some
nang
sort of Ray Costa era. Luis Figo, Spine.
Anh nó hỏi
Might be just after those.
ghi là
points.
chỉ một và đây là ngay tao bằng tuần như sao bằng cái được
so, Cucurella.
không quay của mày
Both sides so far have had moments.
dần tin sụp của
I only get
That's very good.
it's well measured. It gave Cucurella a real chance of getting it. Pedro Neto and Cucurella, of course, club mates until
Yes.
last month.
The ranks.
Tak percaya.
Vậy khá là xa mà lúc chẳng được cái gì
It's on that far side, but not in that
Ang mga
particular
defender họ thôi rồi na Manchester City họ thật là mas ta ha
Emmett Smith,
Spain legend khát thì bay thể
a
là
legend of the NFL, and particularly in this part.
basketball họ ta na as
Generally, they've made such a wonderful job of converting these NFL grounds to this
cái nó
game.
cái pressing đã không có tệ luôn
What's going on here? The official we mentioned
Cái phòng
before,
tối giờ không?
it is
pressing
4
đã
feet to
anh
hit
phải
the
quá
grass.
rồi không nào
mi had a goal in Pomena
Look at those
Ball
blue
has in the
lines across the far
As-
side. They're actually protecting
không thấy là
protecting
get
boxes as
right
glass
there
behind those.
goal thôi nó
好像跟他对过你空皮是一样的，反正。
Ang ate na kung ka antal
because
pa na
the
iti na.
pitch is so much narrower than a football pitch.
That's hydration.
Where it goes unnoticed.
Tuy don pa hong iri tai
Up and running.
goal van 0-0. Hola tuan Portugal ten ate din. Hola la. Jitin ha ham koi tam. Sang học được pa ha.
Nuno Mendes.
Neat and tidy, as you would expect. Both teams, when they got the ball, when they've got good possession.
Portugal te ad midfielder ho club va seya
First play on the
midfielder
right.
ho pende na.
No flag. And now the flag goes go.
Okay offside na.
Cut back from João Cancelo from an offside position.
Hey, ya ta được pandai tidak.
Sampai so te.
Itu aku tidak nyari. Bây giờ no like try.
Lung dai no lung dai no message ka bang hai pele
He thought he
ta te.
could Pedro see him.
Lung dai la lung lengo.
To leave Spain to make his career. Actually, Barcelona who let him go at 17. Made a lot of money to get him back.
Almost again Spain United win. Okay. Almost an kirim. Almost kai ni hi oya janvar hai. Nei chapa chu chal chukta.
He's rotating. So made a run in behind Mendes and João Felix to police the near side. So we look.
Okay, corner kitna. Just part to team na.
Spotted by
Abi to English Premier judge ya na.
Spain and meaning to feel he's being put upon here by João Cancelo.
He's actually given that much. I think he might have done. I thought for a moment Alex Minor was being told to get back on his feet, but actually,
Spain
I
te
think
indirect.
that's why the delay was.
Hydration,
He's got his decision.
hydration break dita.
Let's go with it now. So remarking from
So hi out ngay le hydration break ng bottle there.
the torch is in there. Barcy, the Ireland centre back, is the tallest defender in the world. Close to either of them.
Avay hula.
It's an
Oh,
interesting hit from Pedro.
ole, tuy don pa.
We're edging towards the hydration break.
Tai.
And he made it's a bit more than
Hydration break kita yun
he
tahi
obviously saw
pantuloy
the
tai.
Portuguese coach something that he felt he could put right at that kind of discussion. Not what Spain had done,
Tuy ano ti ta
having to rely on his goalkeeper more times than he would have wanted to.
Tôi nghĩ buồn chuyện tôi cắt lần mà.
Ole. Portugal te bo panden.
Ruben Dias. That's a great contest between those two.
because Neto was after that, wasn't he? He's very quick. Pedro Neto.
So far,
He gives them time direct pace over on that side, but Cucurella is one of those defenders. He'll
come on, do it tonight.
he gets.
Tôi nghĩ là mình xiên tảng cô lắm.
That's what Pedro Neto does. He speeds the game up. Doesn't when he gets the ball, he's off.
He does. Yep. He wants it in front of him. That's when he's at his best.
That was sort of saying only a straightforward
Thấy thì cái chụp tiêu là không penalty không?
running between the two players. And
Vô tận thằng nào.
I can imagine Pedro Neto probably thinks that's his best way of getting the better of
Spain te rồi,
He's pretty rapid. Yeah, bushy haired left back. games recently between these two have been drawn. 6 of the last 7 in regulation time.
สบายหน้าโต๊ะตาย
Away by Pedro Porro.
ฮีดิงาฮีบัง
Forward by Ruben Diaz. He exerts himself to get a bit of power on the header. Now Coutinho. Now Cancelo. Now they're dropping deep to influence proceedings. The possession here, maybe that's the sort of thing that Roberto Martinez was emphasising. Look,
Patience,
yeah, a
yeah.
bit more patience.
Just keep it, yeah. Wait for that right moment to be decisive with a forward pass. You have to go backwards. Don't be afraid to. Lots of teams nowadays, we see Martin recycling the ball, going backwards, even go back as far as the goalkeeper at times.
Mungkin bagian mana? Pasal respectable man. Men like me.
So he might go to break it. Dani Olmo. Or Lamine Yamal will not quite for Lamine Yamal. He was it now to try and equalise.
Bruno Mendes didn't really know where Lamine Yamal was there. Arteta does really well to slide in and just intercept. Had there been a little more pace on that ball from Dani Olmo, he would have been in and away.
Ball tu mana tahu distance cuma bên này rồi.
There you go. Into Pedro Neto territory. That's the Taylor deciding in Cucurella's favour. Handball. It's Kubasi.
làm mình xưa tiêu cho cái có là chi hết rồi còn
Now Dani Olmo. Pedro Porro going on the outside here. And he does it, steaming forward. It's his game. So one way to deal with Nuno Mendes is make him defend.
Yes.
Lamai
really good. He actually does very well. Nuno Mendes to recover, slide in, and knock that one away. Another corner this way.
Ball nó vậy thôi.
It's their turn to involve in the blocking. It's work. Short back to Pedro Porro. The other fullback Cucurella.
Waited.
Well, quite victory. Oh, the goalkeeper saved Dani Olmo with a header. There was improvisation by Diogo Costa. There's an offside flag in the end. I'm not quite sure which bit of play he flagged for.
I think here's Dani Olmo just there. Look. Pau Kubasi is who tries to get on the end of that, which made life very difficult there.
Almost.
But Diogo Costa having to go with his foot, and he cushioned it right back into the path of Olmo, who couldn't get any real power on it, but would have been flagged anyway.
Now on
Ronaldo.
Aymeric Laporte. Born in France, of course, naturalised on the residence qualification for Spain.
That's a bit of a shank. Laporte there. Got away with it.
It's a remarkable record for Unai Simon. 519 minutes before this game started. Not conceding a goal. He's never been really regarded as an absolute top-class keeper. And yet, De La Fuentes, who obviously had him young in the underage team, he's been an absolute standout.
The thing is that in your society, it's a right hand harmony. In society, you know,
I think they've got David Raya, who's just won the Premier League with Arsenal in the Champions League final. He's more of a footballing goalkeeper, if you understand what I mean.
I think they've got great competition, Martin, haven't they? You say Unai Simon, not always in everyone's top 10 of world goalkeepers, but does a great job for his team.
Whereas Abel still be ruining that missed chance, but we're all good strikers. Forget about it. In the end, think about the next one.
Thì lại thêm là họ ta còn mạnh cái gì giống như của đội đại thì ấy
Here's,
nó là khả năng kia bỏ hiểu
Jamal again for Dani Olmo has made a terrific run. Really caught Portugal out with his movement there.
Great play. Brilliant work. He's very elusive, Dani Olmo. 1 minute he's running in behind Portugal's back line, then he's playing in the pocket in the number 10 position. Then he drops even deeper in front of Portugal's midfield, but no one's ever quite sure where he is.
Cucurella
thật không độ là cái tầm về
in the end by working that left-hand side away by Renato Vega.
và di Spain là do cùng lâu qua cho
Portugal have to retreat again.
mò cho
ấy cô giờ mấy phần biết không sao đâu cô
chỉ là ăn đúng là ăn
Pedro Porro, Lamine Yamal.
cái
Working
cho
with
ăn chả
Pedri.
sợ thầy đồ chỗ họ ba phần
Not really
Lad
get through to
lên
go
lên.
through. And he tackle back. It looked fairly enough, but maybe not from Anthony Taylor's angle.
Yeah, Nuno Mendes got a foot in, so Lamine Yamal doing the right thing, wanted to pinch it back. Not a lot wrong with that, to be honest with you.
những khách nào rồi những chung là trong này là khách rồi xung quanh pasal lùng lẩu thì rồi cái này bắt trái là pasal các ông mấy nào lên
Back to
nhìn
Diogo
như là
Costa.
một bài xong rồi đó rồi pasal phải
Pressure again from Spain all round.
Just a little extra sharpness you feel, don't you, Andy, about Spain? Or
Yeah,
maybe you see it different.
No, look, there's not a lot in the game, Martin, but
Argentina periferia
Spain are so dominant in possession. They're very, very good at
Tapi
Portugal.
apa sih yang tak kamu
Certainly. Also very capable, but Spanish team, there is a nice rhythm to what they do when they keep in possession.
Di kedua na tayo
The goalkeeper's ball. Talk about players from other countries. He was born in Switzerland. Diogo Costa.
Bây giờ
Obviously to a Portuguese family. So another qualification. Ruben Diaz. Correa really took a chance there. Anything over the top of him, and Neto would have been sprinting away behind him.
Ini lepas kebangan ni kan.
But better options, Spain, I think, Martin, when they're looking forward at the moment. Whether it be fullbacks getting in advanced positions as Pedro Porro is here to the right of Kubasi, or people like Dani Olmo starting to become a little more influential. Bit of space.
Karen Neves struggling to find a way out. And Cancelo too was just that could have been intercepted by Olmo.
lung po đây là hệ to khát tê
Cristiano Ronaldo. João Felix. Taken on by Coutinho. Advantage played by referee Taylor. João Neves. Cancelo. Bruno Fernandes.
cepat ho English Premier League player of the season
Cristiano Ronaldo is very good in the air still.
pelota Anna sai yo que na
Just knock it over his shoulder into an unguarded net.
Lang cái gì nữa nè.
khó đau sân đảo cái đấy
Taylor Price for his bravery getting to the ball, crashed into the hoodies. Look at Ronaldo now.
Yeah. Unai Simon there came for the initial cross and was
man hi dong na
a bit.
khát pan thật đồ
He did want to get a fingertip on that. João Felix knocked back to Ronaldo and then made that stop. Ronaldo couldn't really get any power on it. Back to goal and facing the wrong way, but nice play from Portugal. Good work, João Felix at the back post. Didn't give it up. Kept believing he could keep it in, and that was almost a very useful situation for Portugal. But the goalie there stepped off his line to come and get it. He does that. He's got to make sure he grabs it. Unfortunately, he wasn't quite aware of where he was.
free ball hard game của cái đảo
His first attempt.
Ini bol direct dah.
It was a very get 40, 50, 60-year-olds, but you've still got pictures in your head like Cristiano Ronaldo had then. I see that the goal was, there was a chance of diverting it to the goal.
And he'll always have that about him, Martin. Even when the legs perhaps aren't quite as powerful as they once were. His awareness was decent ball in from Pedro Neto. Goalie, a little bit all over the place, but does well to get back up and recover.
Pedro Neto, Anthony Taylor judgment that he's not quite in tune with. Will be dropped in Spain's direction.
It's a lot easier to get them boots on nowadays, Martin, isn't it? Just literally
like those,
slide your foot in.
those slip-in trainers. They're designed for people your age. The boots are designed for Pedro Neto. And now, well, I've got 3 or 4 pairs here. So not football boots. Here is Felix in the centre of attention again. Pedro Porro is going to get a talking to.
Yeah, he's giving as much chance as he possibly can, Anthony Taylor here. That's a little bit niggly from Pedro Porro. Fullback wanted a winger. Not exactly that he's there, but I don't think there'll be too many more before Anthony Taylor starts clamping down on a few of those. What a switch that is.
And what an anticipation by João Cancelo to realise that he set off and dictated the pass. Actually, he was on his bike. This has been given as a corner. It might be one of those that will be checked.
Great run from João Cancelo. Portugal fullbacks, they can do that from the first minute to last. Charge up and down, not a problem for them.
Now to Pedro Neto's liking. It's a congested goal area. Unai Simon. We'll need to have a clear view of this, particularly if it's whipped in with pace.
I presume that chunk out the back of his boot is deliberate, Martin.
We could go on all day about what the modern player does, but I think there's an advantage to be gained. Scoring a goal is the best way to get an advantage. Nuno Mendes, deflection all the way.
As soon as I saw the deflection, I thought it was in. Just a little bit too much room there for Nuno Mendes, who is not afraid to let fly from that sort of distance. Watch this, he hits this nice and hard, he really does. And it's Pedro Porro. You're always tempted to put something on it if you can, but it can often fly past your own goalkeeper.
It's disappearing from sight. Nuno Mendes will get purchase on the long throw, but Taylor has seen something which I think means the throw will be retaken.
Yeah, Smart Cucurella went down, but I think Anthony Taylor getting involved a little bit at the near post, so he's ordered the throw to be retaken.
It's not a long throw on the retake. It's a cross. The best one from Nuno Mendes. João Felix trying to win it back. Oyarzabal's up with it.
Great feet.
And he's still sitting on the ground expecting to get the free kick. Spain didn't have the ball, not quite in the most advantageous situation, but they've worked it back again. And is that a double trick? No.
That's really good defensive work from João Felix. Watch him look strike for strike, getting back and just getting all the forward footing.
Not much margin for error there.
No, you haven't got long either, Martin. If you do receive that ball 40 yards from the opposition goal. It won't be long before someone is trying to pinch it off you. You've got to make that decision pretty quickly. What are you going to do with it?
Vega, Vitinha. Now Felix actually emerged the last 10 minutes or so as quite a significant figure in the match, trying to push Portugal onwards, but doing his share in the opposite direction. As Bruno Fernandes got some space here. Ronaldo, maybe if he'd been a little bit more central, the pass had taken him a bit more central, he might have shot from that range.
Yeah, that's his first thought all the time. Ronaldo now. And he get the yard and get his shot away. Couldn't there, it was a long way out.
It's Pedro Neto, Vitinha. A number of these players were playing in the States last year with their club sides. Pedro Neto had a great tournament in the Club World Cup. Scored 3 goals, Chelsea won it. Nuno Mendes. Lamine Yamal, who I'm sure has been briefed about what he's going to do. And rather be doing what he nearly accomplished a couple of minutes ago. That should be the goalkeeper's ball. And it is. Unai Simon.
Nice work, neat and tidy, nice and clean with the catch. Ronaldo just hovering a little bit in behind Unai Simon, but good work.
Pedro Porro. Spain threatening, but Portugal not without a sign or two of a punch of their own. Here's Baena, Bucarea. Laporte takes over. Oh, Danny almost found space again. Oh yeah, Zabal couldn't quite switch it. And then hit within minutes.
6 minutes first half. Additional minutes.
Yeah, it's a ban on the receiving end of that one from Rodri. I think you can see Dani Olmo on the right side of the screen there saying, let's keep the ball. Always tempting, Martin, midfield players, when you're in that shooting range. And it's afterwards, you either often regret that perhaps you didn't just go wide and keep the pressure on. Just relieves all the pressure when you blast it over the bar.
I saw you blast it into the opponent's net, by the way.
I can tell you there was a good few that went on there.
I did see some of those too. João Neves. Ronaldo makes the run. Darting out in time was Unai Simon. Spain tried to act quickly from the goalkeeper's distribution, but Portugal get back very quickly. Spain. Pedro Porro play it inside. But it was offside, it wouldn't have counted.
I think he's got to mix it up with against Nuno Mendes. Look, decides to just dart in behind. Once you make that decision, you can't wait. I don't think Pedro Porro did a lot wrong there. He's just always a little too early and going to be offside, but that's better from him. He can have it to feet, but also skip in behind occasionally.
Spain, you sense, really looking to up it before the break here. They've got a free kick.
Pedro.
Not a great angle for the challenge.
No. It's a long way out, this one, Martin. An awful long way out. I mean, we have seen them over the years. Previous World Cups, we've seen them fly in from this sort of range, but that's a long way.
That's a nice banner, isn't it? The legend versus the future. Ronaldo versus Lamine Yes, but it is a ball that stays hit. We've emphasised that plenty of times. We've seen some wonderful goals struck from outside the penalty area. With plenty of headers as well. This might be more the latter route to an opening goal here. Well, that was actually on target, but maybe there was an offside on the initial knockback.
ที่ referee ไปทีมไหน France ตก
Well, the game's gone pretty much according to plan, hasn't it? It's very tight. It really is. The first goal in this one is going to be huge for whichever team is able to find it. But
ใส่อะไรครับให้มันดีเหมือนกันลง
they both had their moments.
I think it could have been tighter, couldn't it? I mean,
Yeah.
I was telling Andy before the game, a very good friend in Portuguese football said, be prepared for a long game, hinting that there will be a lot of caution involved. There's been sensible defensive play, but creativity hasn't been off the menu.
วันนี้เราเห็นตั้งที่เลยอ่ะไม่เอาให้เขาหน่อยเลยคือช่วงเป็นที่ให้เขาหน่อยเล่นไม่ถูกเขาไม่ถูก
They were done by Nuno Mendes.
มันยากไอ้ถูกด้านวางไปเยอะไปต้องระวังกันนะก็ดีจัง
He's another of the exciting amount of players involved in this game.
เรื่องคำคำว่าอินเจนของสัตว์เจอเจ้าหน้าที่ต่างที่
Was that a nice idea just to reverse it back?
เราคุ้นหอยการให้เลยแต่
Not too much on it.
ดีเราจะผลนะนี่เราจะโตถังดีครับเอามาเราคน
Through doing that, trenching and carrying and passing responsibility and the ball to others. Like Oyazabal, Correa,
จุดนั้นจุดนั้น
Oyazabal again.
ขับเลยเป็นหอยแล้วคน
Spain going nowhere on that passage of play.
Yeah, he's getting too deep there. Oyazabal getting involved in areas where he doesn't really want to be doing that.
He's really, late developer. They played him through the middle of his club and now for his country. And running through the middle here at the other end is João Felix. Who's never really settled in one club. Oyazabal has only played for one club, Real Sociedad, whereas Pedro Porro goes careering across. Well, João Felix has been around the block a few
Oh,
times,
he
hasn't
has. Yes, he has.
Not
You're right.
settled.
Never really stuck it out for a significant period of time anywhere. But he's talented. He's a very talented boy, and he can play in a number of positions. He could play as a 10. He's playing off one side. It's not ideal for him today, but both teams, Martin, have got some good players on the bench, who can have a big impact in this game too. It might come to that. It might well come to whichever manager is brave enough to make those changes first. That could be the difference. Well, the team here to score.
Second half akipan kita.
Themselves in pole position.
ก็หาคุมดึงๆแล้วคุมโตได้ติ
Well, that search
Khum lâu đi,
for
khum
the
lâu đi.
opening goal goes on from the start of the second
ซับ
half.
กิปันกิตายล่ะซับ
Is Oyazabal. He's still ruining
ตั้งน้อง
that
ยา
place.
กิแบบน้องไม่บ่อย
Chance that got away from him. He knows he's got the capacity to still win the game.
อ๋อหักอ่ะนะ
by 45 line
ก็กิปันได้เห
Counter-attack is
Second half of
Neto
the fun.
stringing up the match again as he loves to do. His
ซึ่งก็มันก็
teammates
จะตั้งกิตติ
โร
gradually
นัล
getting
โด
up
เฮ้
with it.
อีกทีละอันละเราดูฮะ
Just because he chops
Oh, no,
back
it's
in,
similar.
Neto, chance
Oh,
goes
Ronaldo,
away,
yeah.
and that's a poor ball from Bruno Fernandes in the end. Comes to nothing. I think Pedro Neto keep going.
ใช่ป่ะ
เลี้ยงเต้นสไตล์ไป
อ๋อ
Eric Laporte, he's backing him up into
ป้า
towards
บอล
the
ทำป่า
end
ห
of
อ
the 18 yard
ติด
box.
ดัน
I
กัน
think
เลย
both teams have got to be a little braver in the last third.
Worldcup ช่วงนี้ทีมจะดูใส่
อ๋อ
Yes, it's not exactly risk averse, but no one's taking too many, are they?
No, not enough, I don't think.
มาเก็ต
Just looking at the options available to both coaches, Roberto Martinez really does have some strong options forward-wise,
สเปน
attacking-wise.
เตะสไตล์ก็ละหอยแนวแหละ
Gonzalo
Kita
Ramos,
cycling no.
Trincao,
Midfield
etc.
lot
These are
lah.
very
Tay
gifted
gam pa.
players.
Midfield. Spain mo midfield kami no.
Yes, Ruben Diaz. Dropping back infield again.
Ala.
Now, maybe trying to get up the outside. He'll get a throw out of this. No, he won't.
No sé, copia nada que todo. Sapan tu wanatihia.
Spain, it's their 17th World Cup, going back when looking at the history of the competition. 13th in a row. Being
72 minutes
sturdy
kati
competitors,
ya ambo khudde kari ha.
culminating in that success in South Africa back in 2010, where they beat Portugal in the round of 16 in Cape Town, 1-0.
Ronaldo.
Could be a 1-0 here.
Ayya.
Could be either way.
Man, ro khune a follow dan no che. Akhatpa amaron ni sora asot hira ru
I
cho.
don't think there's that much contact with Dani Olmo. The ball just got away. Look, that reaction says it all. But Anthony Taylor gives the free kick and another chance.
It's the big Spanish fan, the actor Javier Bardem.
Toahiye
Very well known in his home country.
Portugal in free kick.
Producer as well.
Free kick and ball the way
The
ta.
stand for the Spain brigade here.
Pero dah pi katte se pi ball ne wan ni chipal pan no ta
That
ki
is
mat
actual
de ga.
practice.
Ball ni sang
To win it back again. Here's Bruno Fernandes.
Da.
A little bit out of
That is
shape.
your duty to chase. Hata. Ah.
Neither one thing or the other from João Cancelo.
Good situation they're in once more, Portugal, but without anything significant on target.
Trying to edge Portugal into a press they don't really want to do, you feel. Have Dani Olmo, in periods of the first half, found a lot of space. He made a risky back pass there. Olmo goes across, helps out Cucurella. Nice Pedri. On the charge, Lamine Yamal.
Ah, zolo.
Mendes.
Chapa zo he na yamal.
There are individual battles going on all over the pitch. In wide areas.
Strong there, wasn't he? Nuno Mendes stood up and he had the back in and probably knew exactly where Renato Vega was behind him. Stayed on his feet nicely, timely interception.
Portugal to Spain as also who koi to Thangmins
Diaz, Cucurella underneath it. Anthony Taylor's refereed Mark Cucurella many
France to Hong
times.
Kong ka de hamna. Ashman sahi to go.
Coutinho came back,
Mal
and now here is Pedro Neto.
lama
Cucurella miles out of position. Pedro Neto across. And
Who Ronaldo hay zo
well,
to
it was the whistle
ko.
because it's gone out for a throw.
Yeah, Alex Baina's lucky there because he's the one that gives the ball away. And Cucurella, look on the left of the screen, has gone past him. Now all of a sudden, Pedro Neto has got the ball absolutely where he wants it. Decides to go rightly on the outside, but the ball in is neither one thing nor the other. It's a bit too quick along the floor. He could have stood it up a little bit and give Ronaldo a chance to put his head on it, but quality wasn't quite there.
Hadarta.
There is Baina. Now Dani Olmo.
Hoi chula tada.
Nuno Mendes didn't have to get out of third gear really. Tall, elegant player this way, number 10, but he's not absolutely going to outrun you.
Sam Ziu Hera Sam
Christian Vieira.
Suna
gets
hi
this, yeah.
Namut Laki Solo ha.
Nhưng mà chỉ bay ra nữa.
Italy, of course, very much Australia as well. Good to see him
Không
here.
phải như hiện tại.
Ê, luôn không
This is what all
Yeah.
players about, finding space.
Yes.
Mang nom lo le nom lo cho
Taking
sa.
over, giving
Thật ra như vậy.
Iranian
Chilut tongo katte hijlaya.
to give problems to the men who's still on the ground and maybe hurt.
That's the first time Lamine Yamal has set him up and really sprinted beyond him. Nuno Mendes on that occasion was struggling.
Cycle ho
Again, on the other side, Alex
Spain
Bailly has
hoi.
got to get in the box. They've got to add more
Yamal
presence
ke thau
in the
thai.
area, Spain.
đầu
There
tô
are
Ta
times
vô là
when people are making good runs, getting into good situations, not enough people in that
ta có phải
box.
đầu tô mà hay là nộp tầm ngang nào
Nayo le.
Anh tên phải trả không chưa? Yes, yes,
The actual
right.
physical
Ah, very
ability
good,
of
na.
Spain.
Nó thì chị mang
We
này.
look to work that side again.
Đó là ông phố là xuống này.
hay là Harry Kane thì họ nào
Asta sa long lo yun la halon cho. Abo ma second goal ho cha highlight ka verana.
Right.
Easy va ju la. Brazil
Rodri,
defender oi ka pha bola ha.
cover the side.
Khapa changa set sa ni ju la. First goal heading ho cha la chom he le.
So a little bit tight between the men on the right, Pedro
Da 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 da.
Portugal
Bora
trying to
bega.
exploit some space behind them.
Vokta.
Ronaldo
La pita.
still going.
La pita better bola.
Very fair challenge.
Yeah, good challenge. Nuno Mendes is down, Martin.
Ah, ni kha
Maybe it
to
was
sa
more
khai.
than pride. Yeah.
That's
Alla, si pa ki su khe hoi shele.
Portugal, that is. Because
Si pa ang ke su kha la Yamal nom tang ke chim tan te.
forward and making sure he gets back, but that sort of look on his face suggests that his race is run.
He's the player who's had most touches in the game for Portugal.
Chwa hu an lu diu hi chu chwa hu. Stack ka loi.
Didn't he? Because Lamine Yamal had stolen a yard from him.
Pare.
Sort of look about, Martin. When you stretch like that, it can be a hamstring, it could be anything, but they're not signalling to the bench yet, are they? That they
Now
need
we've
to
got
change.
Diogo Dallo, who can play right back or left back. Nelson Semedo. You can say the same thing about him as well. So they're not short of cover, but he is very much the main man. Messages
Yeah.
going back to the bench.
là mấy người mà là qua thì như thế cũng là
Chu pa hi chu a tha la zo. Chu pa to la hoi sia ta cha.
Big screen, Emmett
kiểu người ta
former Dallas Cowboy, superstar in the NFL world.
Semedo.
Austin McPhee with the long hair is organising a change, which does see Nelson Semedo
Yes.
being summoned into the match.
ghép mà phải
Koi.
mỗi người có tội là phải kia
It's a toss
Yes.
coin match, isn't it?
Yes,
Really?
It is. It is.
Oh. A cha
This is the
lu
most
a
important
cha
change,
ta.
really.
nhất là
Does that
Oh.
give Lamine Yamal, I don't know, a little bit more hope? I mean, now you've got a right-footed left back, so when Lamine steps inside on his left foot,
cái bây giờ bắt đầu
he's going into Semedo's strength a
Nó hòn
little
thật.
bit. But I've said before about when you come on as a sub, sometimes it's not quite so easy to pick it up, the pace of the game and the intensity of it.
Tay tâm ta na le. Sa la bo. Chu pa po do la hoi sia ta cha.
Talk about Lamine Yamal, Semedo or not, but Mendes when we come into Spanish territory down the left-hand side, which he loves to do and has done successfully against them before. Semedo's quick, but he's not quite that kind of.
Zam tan.
It's not a dominatum, is it? That's the word. Great word, Andy. Dynamic. Yeah.
Come on.
It's
Space.
dynamic himself. It's not simply Bernardo Silva we got a glimpse of then. Hasn't been able to get himself regularly into the team. making a move. He was going to go to Atletico Madrid. All the forms were signed, everything, and the plane was there. And then the plane took him to Real Madrid instead. It was a very late approach, but a successful one. Semedo plays in Turkey now, having left Wolverhampton Wanderers in English football where he had 5 years. Was at Barcelona before that. Good pedigree, good player. Ronaldo.
Lana puta.
Good yard offside, I would say.
Ronaldo to miền khách đi ngang một thế này.
Pedri's ball. For Danny Olmo.
I think Martin is sort of like got one player out there that's really on top of his game. I think we've got London playing very steady and playing very well. We don't have anybody really sparkling, absolutely.
Well, certainly in an
making the
attacking
difference.
sense, yeah. Defenders are dominating. Whether they're being challenged enough, I think Andy's got a good point, but it's Baena had a good shot in the first half. Danny Olmo just trying to roll in behind the Portuguese defence. A bit of extra acceleration from Bruno Fernandes. Now he is a player in an attacking sense who would be feeling he contribute more to Portugal's chances of winning. Not because he's not been involved in the game, but it's not been a game to suit his particular talents. But his particular talents can win a game like this, that's for sure. Here's Jan Neves. João Felix. Ronaldo, can he reach it? Only
Ronaldo prime
tentatively. Small margins.
Yeah, all good one. It's the right idea from João Felix. He makes a nice run, Ronaldo, but he's having to wait for it, sort of hanging in the air a little bit, trying to adjust his feet.
And put pace into it.
Yeah, and get something significant on it, Martin. Yeah, he couldn't do either, really.
Breaks the way of Mark Cucurella.
Okay, Mark Cucurella. Some Salpa.
Pedri.
Yes.
And Rodri.
As Zoom ha evet dev cho asap Zoom ha no ba no Zoom.
In the 16th.
Zoom 9:30 ro Zoom.
On target Spain. So although they're in a way catching the eye, they're
I hit pele bang cho penalty. To Brazil.
Kubasi. They did let go forward a lot in the first half. He's not done quite so much in the second, then maybe had quite so much controlled possession. Here he is again, the young man.
Tua bora
The young man.
khapa pok ta jam na dei dei ke thai ta. Ayo
Really good work, João Felix there. He's back on top of his fullback who's just come on, Nelson Semedo. He intercepts that pass from me and then hits the floor, having just got tripped, and that's good work.
Feita on le kan hara nan nungla la ma.
That's a great situation.
Pedri chance ta harami se.
Perspective, it looks like an Artavega on that. Danny Olmo heads up, finds Pedri on the edge of the box, exactly where
Leo lam khat lo chu la pe ro ve tho.
people flying out at him, a little deflection, another Spanish corner.
And now gone. Spain looking to open the scoring here. Vitinha could have got it further away than that.
Corner again.
And that's led to another corner. Lamine Yamal was poised on the edge of the area, certainly came onto it.
Sát ha.
Tùy power vâng thế nào.
Xin rồi đó.
Tùy power vâng là hai rồi. Cái này nó chỉ như vậy. Nó thả bằng này cái chân quay lần rồi. Không xử xử.
Goalkeeper has it as well. In fact,
Cái chân quay lần rồi thì ngay he chúng nhận độ đàn mà nó này.
ball expertly.
Yeah, very nice work.
Chỉ tên thì tùy nữa.
Ball's up there, it's hanging a little
tùy
bit.
hi
And the goalkeeper come and
ai
frame
cũng
it. He
cái
did it
ổn
perfectly.
lệ nè
Signed a new
Đây
contract.
này chỗ hả?
ôi lòng ngắn
Recently,
trong
they've lowered
GST.
the buyout clause, which suggests that there might be a move in the offing.
Last minute has been tiền của món lần xả độ là game mình nè. Lệ ở dưới đàn chứ.
So,
Azul Han khel không cái khel hel lu de na Portugal de na.
he's kept on running into the middle. He's
Portugal
capable
last
of getting a goal himself. Played in other positions.
Amit
as
fil
well
pau
as
khat
fullback.
khon khel de to.
Lost his bearings, lost the ball. Now Vitinha. Bruno just caught by Pedri. Malicious intent, none taken.
nó dịu anh chỉ mà sút rồi đó nổ men tiền tiền
Goal la khub na ki khub to lo ri wa he.
Marcelo.
Ha.
tốt đàn hông
Vitinha.
Am nahi na ba za chu. Khat hin khum do hal la la pakare. Dip cha hu ra ko na.
Wanting it back.
Pero ta
Maybe
ha.
not wanting it back, but it was coming back.
Yeah, João Cancelo trying to return the ball to Pedro Neto.
Spain te na zo
I'm
ngai
sure
do.
there was a
No, it wasn't.
halfway for it.
It was always a bit ambitious, that one.
Yeah.
Do ha pan pe
We're
de
looking
ya.
at really fine margins here, Andy, aren't we?
And
So
the bench.
bad, yeah, cái là xong
I'm
rồi
looking
thì
at the
rồi.
bench. I think soon we'll start to see some changes. And neither coach really wants to show their hand first. And when I say changes, mind, I mean attack-minded changes. Changes with intent to make the difference, not just to fill a gap or replace someone who's struggling a little bit.
Next
Talk
match
about a change that could just
England to Norway
give us a
no
different
đi
look
hè
about
na.
what we're witnessing.
England first 11 Jude Bellingham speech hello đi chỗ này.
Nicely
Yellow
done
card.
by Pedri. They could play different
Last
tackle
match
within
ayo
the team,
mo
couldn't
ra
they?
hayo
But,
mo.
a different approach from
Next card,
Luis
nah.
de la Fuentes.
Chị hello đi. Cái đó tăng cái gì?
Everyone really holding their breath in the ground, waiting for a decisive moment because there has to be one.
Not to light là cái này tăng.
Go and get on the outside, but then in the
Ha,
amount
ha,
through the
good.
middle looks the opposite.
Alaya
way.
chúng mi khát to.
And it's
Hey, cắt tayo. Nó cặp là nó tệ rồi.
Someone trying to get it away, didn't get it away.
Good the goal. Cho vang cho. Ê rồi, cái chuyện của nó kìa.
Yeah, no real sting in the
chưa
shot.
vâng không quá
Chú ai tách là hốt cũng hái thầy đầu cho.
Comfortable
nó
stop,
góp rồi
that is. Just
Cái
for
nhiệt
a
tiền
moment,
của
I mean,
pha
you
nào
switch that ball from left
Azu
to
sa
right.
first Amis part of senior pet here na.
chẳng lái
Fizzled out a little too quickly.
90 minutes played in the second half.
cái sự nghe
Still no real clue as to which way it's going to go.
Mọ không thầy đầu cho con mỏi.
I think plenty of clues that
Thì
it's
khôn à, vậy thì
going to be
chắc có nghĩa cái chuyện cái phản ứng nào
opponent dia check khát khôn là ngại chỗ. Cai ta.
Porro has got
Để
there.
chú có cái chỗ bí ăn uống lù lên này chú.
In there.
That's where we are lacking goals. No, he's looking at it thinking. Cucurella likes to get into goal scoring position.
Do
Fullback. He's just standing and
quên món
just see him on the edge of your picture.
Got to get people in there. Danny Olmo turns around to his teammates and says, "Come on, guys, where are we?
Yeah.
Got to get in the box. You've just got one in there, then the delivery's got to be inch perfect. Got to have others trying to get in there, and you've really got to battle to get in there, Martin. You've got to put your foot to the floor to try and sprint past your opposite man. You're not just going to glide in there and roll something in the back of the net. Put a sprint.
Nó sẽ không hả vợ rồi.
Taylor
เป็นทุกตัด
being pretty consistent on players going to ground what he believes is cheaply. Spain fans had their different view on that one. Everybody working so hard off the ball makes it so difficult for the team with the ball to make the opening, which would be so precious. Ibasa. Pedro Porro.
67 ให้การ 67 minutes what a black night ตาฮะ
Correa. Possession for Spain. Ryan is right. It's a bit different position. Change up. So we go.
Okay ที่ดอนพักที่ไอ้บอลไปห้อยให้อันนั้นสลิดเสร็จเลย
I like that from Bayern. Let's come in centrally to.
Well, he's trying to make something different, and that's what this game needs. It's what it feels like it's going to settle this contest, is someone producing something at
To the area.
those eyes looking at Anthony Taylor as if to say, you're going to show him a card.
This Semedo, the substitute, and you said earlier about how it isn't easy to settle in. He's had a few minutes now, but he still doesn't look super settled.
No, and I think the Minimum will fancy his chances on a more consistent basis against Nelson Semedo.
Oh, Spencer indirect.
There's a committee meeting around the ball.
ตรงนี้มาใครบ้าดีตาย
But let's leave it to the kids. That's all the other Spain players were thinking.
Lamin Yamar indirect attack gue.
It's a game that needs some stardust and very nearly survival. Dipping, whipping, and needed saving.
Certainly did. Hit it hard, didn't he? Straight out the goalkeeper. Diego Costa just raises his right arm, tips it over, takes no chances with it, but powerful strike.
Spain corner. Goalkeeper has to reach for it again. And Semedo says, let's get it upfield. There's activity in the Spain dugout as well.
Often the case, Martin, as soon as one coach makes a couple of changes, then there's usually a response.
Ferran Torres is a good favourite of Calafuentes. He's another one that he's had since a kid, since a youngster. He thinks, actually said publicly, he doesn't quite get Ferran Torres the acclaim that he deserves because he's such a modest, nice guy, the player. Doesn't seek publicity. He won't be the most famous number 7 on the
72 minutes
But he can nick a goal, can't he? Ferran Torres, you know, he can finish.
24 goals in 61 caps. Icon here.
อะไรอะจุดนี้ขัดจีตังว่าอะไรโหมาตุ้ยกำลังบานเบย์เท่
The medium out.
I just think I'm expecting him to take those boys on in the box there. He's got them all back pedalling towards and in their own box, but
Dallas made a good run here. Didn't get the throw. There's a bit to do to get your hands on the real one for either of these guys.
Okay. Torres salutan.
Here is Ferran Torres. Famously scored a hat-trick against Germany. They started doing this 5 years ago now.
winning goal เราผมน้องเจยิง
Here's layout, so the substitutes starting to kick in here in Dallas. Ronaldo. Coutinho. Oh, that's a good head.
Hadi.
Bruno Fernandes knew what was on. He knew if he got a good connection. This is within range, even from an awkward angle.
Yeah, certainly did. He did really well actually to get his body just to bump Cucurella out of the way. And that gave him the space to take the shot with his right foot. Hits it sweet enough, but it's always a couple of yards wide. But that's better from Portugal, that.
Well, the clock ticks on. But you're going to get the goal to win it.
Come on.
We're able to
Hey ha.
see it through. Here's Danny Olmo. Pedri. Square passes. Cucurella waiting out on the left. Yamal on the right.
Bora.
Kubasi. Pedri, Daniel almost set off, sort of to spin and swivel to get a pass through to him. It didn't come, Pedri's kept the ball. Not wasting possession in a search for an opening. Ferran Torres with the kind of run that could decide the game.
Yeah. Just skipped off the surface and got away from
Nasambang chu na kita
Ferran Torres there. Yeah, but in that kind of slower build-up, which Spain are guilty of a little bit at times, just gives Portugal a better chance to get set, get in a good position, get blocked and pick those runners off a little bit. When Lamine Yamal gets it, in fairness to him, there's a bit of speed in their attacking play, but he hasn't been able to find the final ball yet to give someone a real gilt-edged chance.
Kubasi. Cucurella's has picked himself up again and he's on the ball and surprisingly got rid of it, but then he's fooled us all because he's made a run behind off the ball.
Oh yeah.
He finds a shot. Making a decent shot, but the block was there.
Yes, brilliant work. Nelson Semedo goes to ground to try and block.
ตรงข้อหิน
Big centre half is behind his teammate and stretches the leg brilliantly to block it.
เอามาสปาร์ออกจากเขียนจนเลย
On the huge screen here, 70,649 today's attendance. Spain's corner.
อาสเกปัลหอเดียได้
Dealt with
บอ
particularly
ท
well
โอ้โห
by
บอ
Diego
ท
Costa, and that could cost him, but it didn't. He came out and punched well, but Spain have got it back again.
Come on.
Bora, Yamal. Still. Bora.
Ako masito.
It's a lovely ball, and Mania.
Chu ka sai ko ako ma lut zilo chu. Chu na zo sa lut tang go nak ako atun.
Positional to asking for handball.
Yung gam la bol ma khulong pia mo chu.
That's interesting to see whether that does touch Renato Viega's arm. Let's have a look from this. Kind of went underneath his arm almost, didn't it?
That's what they were asking for. But Ferran Torres has now given them a point in their attack.
Yes, he has. Yep.
And here is Lamine Yamal, who's always sharp in his work. That's with the corner. He glanced away.
Offside.
Was handball. Easy one to give up.
Lang khara thai ho
I
wang.
don't think the other one was even checked, was it? That the player slided to the ground. And Rodri was caught out. We'll see
Silva.
Bernardo Silva. And Francisco Conceição, his dad played for Portugal in the World Cup 20 years ago.
Vitinha out.
The question, Martin, is how long Roberto Martinez wants to give Cristiano Ronaldo. Look, the ultimate goal scorer, yes.
And the penalty taker.
Renato finishing what up?
It's a long, long way to go. Ferran Torres again. The De La Fuente's favourite was doing well for his boss.
Ronaldo acan le
Here's Ronaldo.
la Ronaldo na cha.
Playing safe. Bruno Fernandes was possibly, it would have been a difficult ball and probably would have been given away, which is maybe the sensible approach from the senior citizen on the pitch and in the tournament. Here's Rafael doing his thing. There's a deflection on the cross.
Great pace.
He's been with AC Milan for a long time, but there is talk that he'll be moving on this summer.
Showed real pace there and a determination, didn't he, to try and get beyond Pedro Porro, but just didn't make decent contact with the cross.
Rodri. Ayazaba.
Vei tango na jong sanda ra chu na pi hama.
Sure what he was trying to do. Wasn't a white shirt in front of him. And here's Leao. Good spot by Bruno Fernandes to get ahead of the winger and couldn't switch the play.
Vitinha out.
Well, here come the latest Portugal changes. They will be the last ones unless we go to extra time. Pedro Neto is off. And Sergio Conceição, who is very similar in the sense he's a left-footed right winger. Also left-footed is Bernardo Silva, who is come on with his extraordinary move away from Manchester City, where he's been almost a perfect player. And he's coming on for Coutinho. So off we go. Well, that's not going to be a corner. It's a free kick anyway. Then Mikel Merino, a very versatile character, trying to enter the fray for Spain.
And someone who can pinch a goal, Martin, more importantly. Mikel Merino's good in any wide free kicks or corners that are coming in. Can often get on the end of something in the box.
Just checking the 5 substitutes that have been used by Portugal, which means, unless we go to extra time, Cristiano Ronaldo will play the 90 minutes.
Okay, midfield young
Luis as well, by the looks.
Gifted player. Another of the PSG contingent. Ferran Torres. Stepping in was Bernardo Silva. Given so much pleasure to the Premier League as a player, of course, but as a person as well.
Fabian Ruiz.
Great integrity.
Ơi sao hồi chim nhỏ tòa. Một lúc sáng điều này
Pedri out.
Coming off is Pedri. And Dani Olmo.
It's a big call taking Dani Olmo off because he's one of those guys that can get himself into a nice position around the edge of the box. However,
staying in midfield
his work is done. There's an opportunity now for Fabian Ruiz and Mikel Merino.
Here's Lamine Yamal trying to find some space
ปล่อย
to run
ก็ล่ะ
into.
Great run, son. Great run.
Luis Alba. Lamine Yamal again. Appreciative of
ฟาเมนรูอิส
space on this near side.
เฮ้ยนึกกันแล้วนะจ้ะ
Ball deflected
อาวิ
off
คิปเปอร์ปาตรงที่ตุ้งจะได้ดูเอฮิตัง
I do think in a minute, Martin, Lamine Yamal will go on his own. I really do. I mean,
Extra.
brilliant run there.
ตายมันหลุดเตะไม่ได้
Again, he looks up and he tries to
แล้ว
switch it out to
extra time
the opposite side of the field. If he can, I'd love to see him try and do it on his own, because I think he can get into a shooting position himself.
Here's Marc Laporte.
push
Cucurella. And kept their starting back four together, Spain, which have had to change theirs because of an injury. Kabasi. USA or Belgium await the winners. But who will be the winners? It remains a mystery here in Dallas.
Pero
Now they're trying to force Simon into a misjudgment. Back by Semedo. I mean, Spain's way. I think when Spain get into these sort of positions, they do look the more dangerous team. Miguel Marino. Tim has a hat-trick in international football to his name. And he's only been really a makeshift
น้องกิ
striker.
กิดเวนตินอันน้องเราไปเอากี่ปันกิดเด้อ
Lamine Yamal. Ferran Torres. Again, it's thoughtful play.
Yeah, but you're in the box, Martin.
Yeah.
Thought there, Ferran Torres. I think he could have hit one with his left foot.
Yeah.
And then eventually he kind of just turned that opportunity down, and then it's one pass too many.
Here's Ruben Diaz. He's used to winning trophies. He's won 11 with Manchester City. Now it's behind Conceição.
กะปิตะกะปิตะกะปิตะ
Yeah. Anthony Taylor's tried to understand the fixture, I think, but there comes a time.
Bernardo Silva gets the card because he's the one who
เฮ้ย
goes.
จีวาง
I mean, that's
ถ้าปันปันนั้น
really isn't a sensible challenge, that. Because there's no point in complaining. It's a definite yellow card challenge. His foot is high, and that's silly, because you need his energy to get close to people and to stop people from playing and picking passes, and that means now he's got to be ultra careful.
Finally, Anthony Taylor has produced the yellow card. I think his personality and his experiences control the fixture very well. A game that could easily develop into a lot of needle. And Ronaldo trying to sneak in here. I'm sure the flag would have gone up.
Yeah, was in an offside position, actually, in fairness.
Rodri. Pedro Porro. Ferran Torres is in the middle. Well, so is Marino as well. Be careful giving away those free kicks. Taking we're into the 6 added minutes before extra time.
Spain goal! Last minute! Last minute!
The midfield man up
Phải
top.
phải.
Chích! Hit out to strike a ball in chứ mà.
Bay 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 bay. Jangan salah bay bay. Lari aja. Lepas, hey, lepas nun bay bay. Sayang nun boy katiu.
Mikel Merino of scoring big goals.
Substitute para khum tai. Ronaldo học cái trai gì tê ha. Ronaldo tè tàu đi bên cái trai thì người tai.
Lepas lo tipu taber.
À, passing rồi mo. Strike kan lui pa cho strike kan lui pa cho hay là khum hi vậy ta.
Dia tak jalan striker.
And with that left foot, he's
Ra trong được
really coolly.
Dia pas cepat không được chung.
And that is what we've been
Hồi
waiting
xe
for.
đây. Last minute đã nè.
To create something significant. His trainer just found it.
Ah, siung apa itu commission.
We'll leave it to the substitutes. Mikel Merino's
Ronaldo nó hình khoa World Cup lạ lâu đi ta này
Ya,
ta.
tu Messi pak lah nak cipa ni. Nah, ada masuk abil bak cipa.
and wrap up the win.
Hello, Joe.
Joe.
Mau yang jual cipa hong buat apa nak? Mau mandi buat apa nak? Baik lah, lo tu lah tu lo tu jual mie injury jual.
Around 270.
Lamin Jammer has just ended Nuno Mendes' career. Cuma kita
Well,
suka.
the trophy is that. It's a
Ni dribbling ku bawa bola aku sikit defend shot no. Ya mana cản râu cho mà. Cản râu à cản na 7点
Every opportunity now.
Khát hòn nó tịnh nó lại điều cho.
Luis Ferran Torres can't get away.
Nó chỉ cái sai ta xem. Tu lah orang gal ke sebe, Portugal dah sile.
Betting này ha sát.
Itu tuan
Red
lah.
flag for the team in red now.
Memang cinta lah yang mana.
Something to get
Next no ya.
place to the to extend the
Ronaldo TDD ham sát.
captain
Ronaldo dia
and iconic figure Cristiano Ronaldo to extend the tenure.
Ronaldo saja, kau macam buat ada orang papa deh, gitu kan.
Itu
Cái ông cô xong cô lắc cái chọ đó.
Desperation
bằng
in
xe
their
sổ
minds,
thôi.
there's got to be calmness for their feet.
men.
Hỏi tất đắt à, yếm mal. Yellow card đây, yellow card đây.
yellow card tak.
Very well played.
Okay.
Ndak mau ni.
Great play that from Lamine Yamal.
Yeah.
That's exactly what you want now.
Memang orang tak.
Nó thắt rồi tôi là. Ấy chỉ ba bộ chân là thắt rồi ha.
Yang mana tu ada tu pita Mikel Merino tu hung mau le na. Fabian tu Mikel Merino tu. This is shit ni tu. Ni Merino kat ni ah.
He's remarkable, Marino. Late in his career,
In la yang mana.
he's used his versatility.
Tak le.
Normally played as a midfielder, had a spell even in England way back with Newcastle United. Didn't play very much. He's matured.
Amo mga Ronaldo ko ibola.
Hello bola. Yang mau din dah sampai. Kat di sana.
Tí chú na.
Full time ngai lu cho mà xuống.
Thấy chú chú. Hình như yêu.
Ada dekat tiwa je lah na.
I opponent chơi này ra. Amo mga ichu ko ni piyong ball ở đây mà. Iwi chapang ho na hết jing cho. Speed tila karogang ta na.
In by Bruno Fernandes, very deep. Not out to play. Leao will keep it alive.
Team nak tu orang
They have to score to keep themselves alive in this wonderful tournament.
Ala ro pita ho.
Semedo.
Không sai đâu.
Here's Ruben Diaz. We get him in the middle if a cross comes
Ấy
in.
cho attack dan
Young
ba.
there now, but others are in
Threatening
there.
momo lâu pia Portugal ke.
Cushion header.
Bola.
This way by Fabian Ruiz.
Minute khat la ake kit batai.
This is really the last knockings. Well onside was Marino up on the big screen in the stadium there showing.
Ake tho thai lo wa ke to ma para cho hai lang thung po vin te ke ta cho Portugal ke.
Portuguese fans who might have felt short-changed by that. Here's Vega.
Hey, karon tay pass ang ball itaw.
And nearly
The
there.
last three for
Last one, Andy
Orlando.
Townsend.
Yeah.
They deservedly shading this.
Well, look, I said there was never going to be much in this game.
Sabado
Martin.
sa you look at the next
So
match.
I suggest
boy,
that, but it's just about a moment. These big moments separate these sort of teams in these sort of games, and you just hope it's your team that grabs it. Spain have
Là
got
như
it.
tôi nên là Ronaldo tập trung tại là nãy đi mà
Seconds left. If they want to
Amo mo nga khota cha hona. Mi chapang ho speed ti chu kat vit ti ama cha kun dong.
bộ thì mình ra xong khỏi bị tạo vào đi
It does.
đâm xe lên cắn tờ thì cái đó sợ lắm.
Conceição.
Yeah, so bye la các coi mình
So this ball in two.
Cái chai ta.
Bernardo Silva.
Get da chete ni city a ki chi khong na am ken go ha he.
cái tiếng.
Being taken out of the
City a ki chi
place
khong
in his own clubmates.
Thôi là không mặc.
That
Kam
is
chang pem kha sai mai thu.
Mai đi cho nên
Maybe if it'd been anybody else, Martin, a
They'll
little
have
bit
to say
taller,
he did
could
it.
just get above that, climb a little bit higher, and might have been able to pop that in
ba
the
thì
net.
định goal tại đó
Cái chai đi tai. Chien pe lo la vit.
Là toàn cần đúng rồi.
one change the
Striker. He kick in.
Iglesias moves on for Oyarzabal. He's surely not going to get a touch of the
Thôi mình
ball.
đi chip mấy
chỉ ba dòng không na vì ta một mình tôi
Had
ai
it in the last game here, didn't
bộ
really
glass
look
cái gì
like
ba.
it.
Đấy cầm đi cầm.
Iglesias
Winning
ati.
goal. This would have been an equalising.
7 tao là.
He does get a touch.
7 minutes tao là ngủ rồi ha.
Grace time a pick ho.
Eyes on Andrew Taylor.
Yes mà.
And lets Portugal play on.
Look set nam ve Ronaldo fan so.
There you go.
Amo mo nga hinga Ronaldo chu legend na hina na hiwangin.
Thôi.
Chỉ mẹ chú hà chú.
Bao 2 minutes nóng pep pep luôn không?
It's in for the
Amo di te.
Oh, the final whistle hasn't gone. Some of the Spain players are holding up their hands in celebration. Conceição.
Bỏ tao.
One last chance.
Here's a foul.
One last chance here.
Last moment ta he ta he.
In that box.
Ferran Torres amo ko he mo asilo ka ro mo.
Ferran Torres.
Sujuna bowler to bhai sa.
I think the major culprit
Next match
there.
na miss di chu.
That's the yellow card. So Diogo Costa
Không bạc thì
gets
bao
on
tay.
field and he hit the ball.
ấy buổi 6 7 8 minutes ni vào lòng không đào tôi lo video sao rồi sao ta
Goal wa chu celebration ho to na.
Stay onside
An
here.
pa tha da no.
And the delivery has got to be Mark Cucurella, who's at the front of that
Ai
Spanish
wa
queue.
chu ha
Here's the
spend
box.
te mi ha ya ha ro
He's
ya
to
tho
stay in the
pi
World
na.
Cup.
Ta sai chula ki chai ye. Ki chai ye.
They're out.
Ronaldo cảm giác tiền nó trả
Very in favour.
bye siêu last
Ronaldo.
Into the spotlight. With a sprint
Ronaldo
to be taken
anh
goal.
qua nó ball ho cho jana ki pin hai wa chim le cha full a ki chim ba so kan dei koi ke.
But the champions of Europe
Sule amai ni qua World Cup apu lo ri ta je amai hi Ronaldo fans wana ima sei dau tin best footballer to Messi tante
All ko ha bara ki akitiet pi di he France ma.
all sorry to see him go.
Jing kala bei zo ho na.
Spain stride on.
Jing kala USA he lo le Belgium na. Azo te te ta. Aka bi esa.
kai pi katram full time
Special
team cho
journeys here.
alung ding tạo full time chỉ như là na
Success over the last 20
cái sẽ nát cả là giống
years.
sân cái rồi
And Mikel Merino puts them on the march again.
Gary.
Townsend.
He certainly does. Great finish. Great goal. last night the Mexico England game had
Ini nak
everything.
9:30 le. Argentina di sini tu. Mau
This
ni lah.
was much more typical
Ini
of
lah.
Ini lah.
a last 16
Ini
games.
tak ada tu.
You know,
Wah,
World
kan
Cup
ini.
much
Hah?
more typical.
Congrats to Spain and Portugal.
A lot of possession based.
See you next World Cup.
No one
Dah
really
ni.
able.
Still ada yang chance sama ni lah. Dia set dia nak.
Home mai ya hona.
Very in. Those changes.
Dia set dia
Could be significant.
Ronaldo.
And it was Spain that managed to
Tajibata.
grab the chance.
A player anaute ti de ham junior hon. Alung chong achunga leng thai lo dam phala ta. Ako mai ke tha no lo
The
to.
bench feeling proud.
They did indeed. But, you know, they
Jota ako ma
coaches
hona.
waited until in the end.
Akan score
They
yung
did make
na.
their changes.
Ano ba di ko yung
The
konsolo mo mo.
second half got a little bit
At boro to lo na.
worse, but
Full time ki chib num te te
Spain, I
te.
don't think, are the most devastating team at the top of the field in the competition.
Guam,
I don't,
Guam.
but they're
Guam,
very competitive because they keep the ball so well.
Player lo. Kung mga player ay kaya
They
na.
limited Portugal to just a few
Naman
chances.
tayo akan score.
PSG striker pa Ramos ham ni pa ho chong lu le.
Whipped into the box, but
Mi chapa nga te sa khiba nga PSG du pa thayo cho.
Kasi akong dan. Substitute man.
Arsenal ho hai.
The versatility.
Okay. See you next match. Hello.
Granted the victory. And Cristiano